the abuse that you suffered at a very early age. How like did you process that information? Like, did it take time for you? Like, were you already an adult or older when you looked back and understood what was going on, or were you making sense at real time when you were a child and like there were things that probably the other kids were not going through?
Yeah, so I can say by the time I was 9 years old, I actually realized that it was not right. Oh, you know, that was not good, you know, to try and understand the actions of it. I still wasn't able to really comprehend it, you know, properly. So I think as I grew up and as I grew, you know, into an adult and where I'm at now, it's taken time to actually have me understand myself, the thorough depth of how wrong it was and how bad it was and how deep the effects of what it really did to me, and hence why I had a difficult life after it as well, you know. So yeah, if that made sense.
yeah full on though, eh?
Yeah
And to share with the world, I think you found some relief by doing that, like by sharing, because did you think that like other people could benefit from your story? Like, if you can take me through that, because for the people listening to us that don't know, that went viral, and that's how a lot of people found out who you are and what you've been through, right? It was a testimonial on Facebook at a tough time in your life.
Yeah.
Can you take me through that moment and what was happening?
So 29th of August 2015 is when I released my life story, my testimony, and in the event that I put it in on Facebook, I dated it at 2009, because that's when it actually happened. This is when my life changed. So I waited, or not waited, but like I wasn't keen to share my story or anything like that straight away in 2009 when my life did actually make a breakthrough. But when I did share it in 2015, I just got to a point where I was so sick and tired of just listening to everybody's dramas, and they had nothing to really cry about. It was like, man, you're more than that. Like you can get over that easy, you know. Like forgetting that people were starting to be very self-centered and quite selfish, and then their agendas and intentions and all that crap was starting to not be genuine to an actual cause, which made them liars, you know. So things, I just got sick of seeing it around too much, you know. And so for myself, there was that, and then I was just like, man, I just expected so much more from my life, considering I did make a breakthrough, you know. And it was just like another mental break of just like releasing the troubles that have always been behind the scenes of my curtains, you know. Like this is the reason why I had such a hard, like I was a difficult one, is because I had experienced, you know, true traumas and as from a baby onwards, you know. So and then having to try and register that to myself was another journey in itself on my own and alone, you know. So I just ended up I was going to delete Facebook actually, because I seen a friend's like food thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sick of it, you know. Like I'm over this crap. Like I don't even want to see this crap no more, man. Everyone's like dramas, and yet I'm over here, and I just wasn't in a happy place at that time again. It was kind of like, from all those things I had endured through my life, I did obviously end up, you know, having bipolar and suicidal depression, and I never actually knew that I had to deal with those things. So I didn't know that I had to fix those things. I didn't know that they were even fixable. All I knew is that they were there, you know, and it was just like, oh, this is how it ends up.
It's just what it is.
It just ends up being like that, because like I'm just like down and out, you know. So I ended up just going to the toilet, come back into bed, and then when I jumped in bed, it was kind of like, no, you know what? Good, I'm just gonna. This is it, and I just put it into an event, and I just started typing, and I remember thinking, it's like it just all came out like a flood, like it just poured out. Like I didn't even expect it to come out like that, but it was like one memory sparked the other memory and another memory and another memory and another, and then it got to a point where by the time I got to the end of that part of the conversation, the life story, I was bawling my eyeballs out, thinking, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I still remember that. And then I explained, I don't know, the tears and the emotion of that ended up causing me to share my experience that happened in 2009, and hence why my testimony ended up extending right down, and then it shares my experience.